Hi everybody, it's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and today, since I'm at work, again, obviously, I thought it would be really fun to review the Dog Tarot today, the original Dog Tarot, to divine the canine mind, right? We're at a dog store, we might as well talk a little bit about this Oracle deck. It's really cute. That's the first thing I will say when you do purchase this deck. You have to remember it's not a full tarot deck. It's an oracle deck. I think there's only like 30 cards in it. So that is something that you do have to remember. And it's divided up into two sections. You've got your major Arcana, which is really cute. And then you have some pip cards, not too many of them. Which is one of the frustrating things I find about the deck. I think she should have either done a full suit of Arcana major Arcana cards, or, done a full deck, but she kind of decided to only do 18 of the major Arcana, and then she did 12 pip cards. But anywho, we'll go into that in a little bit. First thing that you notice when you open the deck, it's a $15 deck, so it's not too bad. It's totally affordable, and the cards are a decent size. The backs are really cute. Look at the little bone. The only thing that I don't like about it is it's a little difficult to tell if you get your cards upside down or not. Nothing major about that. I don't read reversals with this deck because the artwork I don't feel is really that conducive to it. I might eventually, once I mentally get down the meanings of reversals a little bit better, but there is a kind of enough variety in here. And if you're reading for pets, or people who want to know about their pets, usually that reading is pretty lighthearted, so you don't really need too much of like the Debbie Downer meanings of the cards. So yeah, you get the little white book, obviously, and I was very pleased that the little white book, although little, is very well constructed. It's nice and thick. The illustrations are in black and white, but she packs a lot of text in there, and it's also the thing that I really enjoy about it is it's smartly dog themed. If you love dogs, you're going to love this deck. If you are a dog nerd as much as I am, and I could go on for days about doggies, you're just going to like this deck was approached with a wonderful sense of humor. So one of the first things that we are going to touch on is the fact that the major Arcana is not a full Arcana. I'm just pulling up my little notes here. It's numbered 1 through 18, so there's no 0. So right away that throws the numbering system off. There is a few cards that do overlap, although they are out of order, which is driving me nuts for some reason. Like, I guess it doesn't really... I mean, if you're super duper into tarot, I guess it really matters for, the flow of the story that tarot is supposed to do, like the Fool's Journey from the Fool to the world. But, it matters to me because it doesn't make my brain feel okay. Like, I'm one of those people that likes when things are neatly in little rows and, I don't like it when things are out of order. Unless I made them out of order, because then it's an organized mess. So yeah, they're a little out of order. So you've got the Fool, the Magician, who they hilariously name Nostradamus, and that just makes me giggle. You've also got the Moon. You've got the Sun, which is one of my most favorite cards. How do you not love a Boston Terrier and sunglasses? I mean, can we even right now? You've got the Chariot, another card that makes me smile. This is one of the first cards in the major Arcana that differs a little bit in meaning from the card that inspires it. It's the same meaning, but it's more like your dog's like joie de vivre, and it's more like you have to think what a car would mean to a dog. It means like, oh my god, we're going somewhere. I'm so excited. I can't like it's less the beginning of a journey, or your ability to overcome obstacles on your own without help, or like the energy felt by the chariot used to carry you to another phase. It's more like, oh my freaking god, we can't wait to go to the dog park. Yes, I'm so excited. So you kind of have to go by the dog's face and get a little inside of your dog's head when you pull this card. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, the hangdog, which is totally like it's supposed to be the hanged man, but it's the hangdog, which is nice, and it means pretty much the same thing. The dog is not upside down in here, but its environment is. So you do get a little bit of differentiation between this and the hangman, where like as instead of a feeling like a sense of feeling stuck and needing to gain things from needing to get a new perspective on things, you've kind of got a feeling of like disarray. And you think about it, a dog wouldn't know why his world is upside down. He would just know that his world is upside down. So it's a feeling of kind of like, ooh, like what is going on? So that's more again, you kind of have to get in the head of some dogs to kind of get this deck. The Wheel of Fortune, which is an adorable painting. I love Cavaliers, though. One of my most favorite dogs in the whole entire world is a Cavalier. And then this is the Justice card, and this is where the Arcana ends. And the Justice card differentiates a little bit as well. It means the same stuff, plus it also means compassion and forgiveness. I mean, think it like in a dog's eyes, like, it's just like justice, but as applied to creatures great and small. It's supposed to just mean like, a dog is always going to forgive you. He's always going to be there for you, kind of a thing. And also be nice to dogs and animals that we're supposed to be taking care of. So those are the cards that are the same. The cards that are different, I am still kind of learning because it threw my little tarot world upside down to get all these different cards. But as you can see, it's more than half of the Arcana are totally different. But you've got the Oracle, which is hilarious. It's a basset hound with his big ears, and it's Oracle as in like you can hear. The Pack, I think, is a brilliantly done painting. It ties in several other cards, and they're giving themselves their own little tarot reading, but it's also supposed to be a nod to the famous dogs playing poker painting. You also have the Hydrant, which is adorable. The Kibble. The Cat, which at first I thought was supposed to be a little bit like the Empress, but it's not really even that, because the Empress is a little benevolent, and this is a dog being like, wait a minute, why is the cat in charge? The Dog Catcher, which is amazing. The Wanderer, for those dogs that love to jump fences and chew through leashes and take themselves for walks. You've got the Couch. This one definitely for my dogs. I've got two big ginormous dogs, and they love their big ginormous couch. And then you've got the Shelter, which is like a nod to what your dog thinks is home and what home means to your dog. And then the Runt, which is another one of my most absolutely favorite cards in this deck. A little Jack Russell looking up at a big hound or pointer, being like, oh my god, how cute is that? So those are all different. I'm still working on learning the meanings. I'm still very reliant on the little white book for those, although it is really easy to intuit meanings out of the cards. If you kind of look at them, they kind of get their point across, like comfort and like, again, anxiety. This is like the Kibble could mean like your dog's material possessions and what they mean to your dog. And the feeling of like always wanting more. The Pack is obviously friendship and palling around and what being around other dogs and his people mean to that pup. So yeah, that is definitely, it threw off my game when I first opened this deck. But the artwork is all beautifully done. It's really adorable, and being a lover of dogs, it's not going to take me very long to learn this Oracle deck. And then we get to the pip cards, which again drives me nuts. If you're going to do pip cards and you're going to have such a beautifully illustrated deck, why, oh why, is the artwork, like, it's still, I hate, this camera is like weird. It's still beautiful, but it's sparing. It's really hard to get anything out of that. If you don't know what leashes mean, these are definitely very much going to be rote memorization, as well as a little bit of learning what, a little numerology to get what you can out of the numbers. But there is a little sense to them, as you can see, or as you will be able to see anyway. Each card has each suit has a different season. Leashes would be winter. One of biscuits is spring, or the biscuits are spring. The bowls are most definitely summer. Look at all that green and blue skies. And the bones are autumn, so that will help you kind of get a feel for, where things are as far as transitioning. And then if you need a little extra help, I kind of looked, and it seems like she's modeling after these minor Arcana cards after the suits in a regular tarot deck. So like the bowls would be cups. That was the most obvious comparison, the easiest to make. And then leashes are most definitely swords. They're all about action and a certain fieriness. And then the bones and the biscuits, from what I've been able to garner, I'm pretty sure the bones are pentacles and the biscuits are wands. That being said, I think she probably could have maybe done, like, maybe for pentacles instead of bones, she could have done tennis balls. And then, because I don't know about you, but knowing dogs the way that I do, some dogs don't care if it's a bone or a biscuit. Like, both of those are treats. They're both, I guess one you chew on a little bit and one you just glom right down. But they look the same to me, and if I'm doing a reading for a dog and I get a bone or a biscuit, this is kind of hard for me to tell apart. So, like I said, if you're like going for material possessions and whatnot, I think biscuits would be the way to go. And then if you're going, although the tennis ball would be round, or even like something completely different, like maybe a stick instead of a bone. Dogs love to fetch sticks, and that would have like gone nicely with the wands theme. Just something else that dogs would have liked, I think, would have been much nicer for that. But like the artwork is really nice. I love the way the bowls like have like the gold gleam. I mean, and it's one of the non-skid bowls, which is really nice. If you know about dog supplies, you can kind of, okay, well, it's a stainless steel non-skid bone in a gold non-skid bowl in a gold color. I mean, it's pretty stable, and you can glean what you need out of that as far as like emotion and intuiting what the bowls means for your dogs. The thing that I don't like about the pip cards is she's only got 3 cards for each pip, and they're all 1, 3, and 7. There are no even numbers. There are no odd numbers. The artwork does not really differentiate except for the pattern of how the bowls are laid out. Like the tree, the backgrounds are completely the same. So again, I question why you would go to such lengths to create a beautiful deck like this and then not differentiate the pips themselves, especially if you're going to only have 3 in each suit and then have to have people rely on pretty much complete memorization. But yeah, so that would be it. I mean, and then as far as using this deck is concerned, when I do use Dog Tarot, I usually use it as a sidecar because the deck is so tiny, or sometimes I'll use it as a clarifier. It's a little harder to apply these to people. Oh, and that's one of the really nice things about this deck is in each section, when it comes to, like, for example, if you drew the dog catcher, it's really hard to tell because of the glare. But right here, she has, like, what this would mean for you if you were reading with this deck for a person. But I've never read with it for a person. I've always read with it for a dog or a dog's message to their person. So like I said, but it's so teeny tiny as far as thickness is concerned. Like when you gather them all up, for example, I mean, like there's not a lot going on there, and I get, like, even most, or like, this is only like a 30 card deck, like I said, and most Oracle decks are, at least the ones I've run across, are in the 40s. I've got, the Animal Spirit deck is in the mid 60s. I mean, there's still substantial decks with lots of variety and lots to choose from. So I never use this for a full reading. I always use it as a sidecar. But yeah, it's a great deck. It makes a great gift if somebody that loves dogs. If you're a professional reader and you're doing an add-on, this is easily, I mean, if somebody walks in and they're covered in dog hair, you could totally be like, oh, by the way, I could totally add this on to your reading. This is I mean, the retailer in me is totally popping its ugly head up here, but like this is an impulse add-on. This is an upsell if you're doing this, like I said, to like add it on to a reading. But anywho, those are my impressions of this deck. Like I said, it's really cute. I really love some of the art. I actually liked it so much I brought it into the shop. So that lets you know if I'm bringing it into the shop, it means that I think it's really awesome. And I would love to see the artist Heidi Schulman. Actually, she deserves props, and I'm sorry, Heidi, I had to read your name. I'm terrible with names. But she definitely deserves props for creating this deck, and I would love to see her maybe come out with a version 2.0 with more fully realized arts for the pips, and a full Arcana and a full minor Arcana would be great. So anywho, those are my impressions, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this was for the Dog Tarot by Heidi Schulman, and thank you so much for listening.